If your AI keeps giving you stuff that is just kind of average, by the time we're done with this video, we will fix that. All it takes is 6 files, and I'm going to show you exactly what these files are, what goes into them, where to put them, and how they work. Don't worry, nothing technical here, no coding required. So, let's get into it. Hi, my name is Liron Segev. I have spent 10 years designing systems that help clients build their YouTube channels and proved it works by growing my own channel to 1 million subscribers. Now I'm taking all that knowledge and building AI automation systems for business owners so that they can get AI working into their business today, not someday. Now, in the last video, I talked about treating AI like an intern. Fresh out of college, eager, capable, but clueless about your business. You wouldn't throw an intern into your company on day one and say, hey, go write me some marketing stuff. They're going to have a bunch of questions like, who's your customer? What do we sell? How do we talk? What should I actually avoid? Your intern needs answers. It needs training. And AI is no different. It's your intern who needs training. And you do that with 6 files. You upload them once and AI stops guessing and starts getting stuff right. If you're just opening ChatGPT and typing in a random chat, you're running the risk of your old chats getting all mixed up. It's like AI can see the whole whiteboard of all your chats and has to be selective about which bits to reference. I don't like that. I want more control. So the best thing you can do is create a project. A project is a deliberate box where it has relevant files. It has instructions that stay sticky. Long-running goals don't get diluted by some random chats. You're basically saying to AI, this is the world we're operating in right now. Stay here. Now, to do this in ChatGPT, Claude, and others, you're going to go create a project. Click on it, give it a name of what that project is all about, like content creation. Then you're going to upload the files that we're about to create into that project. Now, every time you start a new chat inside the project, AI has access to everything you've uploaded. It remembers, it references, it uses context to give you better answers because it understands your business. Now, before we go through what is in these 6 files, firstly, I have them all laid out in a template for you, which you can grab for free in the descriptions. I'm not going to go through each bit inside each file because that's going to make this video insanely long, but I am going to highlight the important section and what each file actually does. I'm also going to share with you what's inside my personal file so you can get an idea of what you should put in yours. I suggest having the file open whilst you watch this so you can see the file whilst I am talking. So link is in the description. Just go and grab it. Okay, now we can get into it. And starting with file number 1, which is your product or service. This is the file that has information about what your business does to make money. Sounds super obvious. Tell AI what you do, right? But so many people are vague and hope that AI can kind of understand what they're all about. That is not a good strategy. You want to be super specific about what you do. So here's what I have in my file. I build custom AI automation systems for busy business owners. These systems automatically create content, send personalized outreach, and book appointments without the owner doing any extra work. The system captures what they're already doing, like client calls, team training, and sales conversation, and turns it into content, emails, and documents. They own the system 100%. No monthly platform fees, no credits, subscription nonsense. They pay the AI providers directly at cost. So that is super specific as opposed to I sell AI automations. Okay, next up, who is it for? And just as important, who is it not for? AI needs boundaries. Without them, it's going to pitch your offer to people who will never buy. So here's what's inside my file. For established business owners doing $100,000 per year or more who are already busy and don't have time to create content or manage outreach manually. Not for startups still figuring out their offer. Not for people who want DIY everything themselves. So now AI knows who to talk to and who to ignore. Next, what problem does it solve? And I mean real problems, not visibility or authority or impact. Those are outcomes, not problems. You've got to describe the pain point in operational terms. Here is what's inside my file. Business owners are stuck doing repetitive tasks. They're answering the same questions on every sales call. They know they should be creating content but never have time. Leads slip through the cracks because follow-ups is manual. Their expertise is locked in their heads and doesn't scale. So you can already get the feel of just how much detail goes into it. We're still on file number 1 and it's getting more and more and more, which is pretty awesome. Okay, next up, what's the outcome? Not the fantasy, the actual measurable results. My file says, content created automatically from existing calls and conversation. Cold outreach is sent daily without lifting a finger. Leads follow up within minutes, not days. 5 to 15 social media posts across multiple platforms with 1 approval step. If the outcome can't be measured, AI can't communicate it clearly. Spend time doing this. And here's one that most people actually skip, is objections. What are the top 5 objections you hear? And what are the real answers that you give to each objection? Again, I'm just sharing what's inside my file just to give you some references, an idea. Feel free to obviously write your own. So in my file, AI content sounds generic. That's the objection. What's the response? The system is trained on your voice, your calls, your material. It's not writing from scratch. So that's how it overcomes that objection. Another objection is, I don't have time to learn a new system. What's the response? You don't manage the system. You approve the output. That's it. Another objection, what if you want to leave? The response, you own it, so take everything with you. Put this stuff in your file and AI can handle objections without being salesy or without being super defensive. There is more that goes into this file. I've got the full template. You can download it in the description. Get these pieces right and you're going to be ahead of 90% of people using AI. All right, 1 down, a bunch more to go. Let's go to file number 2, which is your customer avatar. This is who you're talking to, and if AI doesn't know who that is, it's going to write some generic content for generic people, which means it lands with no one. Don't write something vague like business owners who want to grow, business owners who want AI. That's useless. AI needs to be specific, otherwise it's going to make it up. Okay, so let's go through the file. So first up, you got to give your avatar a functional name, not a cute persona like Marketing Mary or Scaling Steve. Something real. Mine says 100,000 to 5 million business owners. Okay, so that's who I'm talking to. That's what's in my mind. That's what's in AI's mind. AI knows immediately that this isn't for startup. This isn't for enterprise. This is for established businesses at a specific stage. Next, we have 1 sentence that captures who this person actually is. In my file, this is typically the owner or the marketing executive in the business doing 100,000 to 5 million who is responsible for growth but no longer has time to create content or manage outreach themselves. If that sentence kind of wobbles, everything AI writes will wobble. So we kind of got to spend some time getting it right. Then you need to describe their current situation, not their dreams, but their reality. What does their week actually look like? What does your customer week actually looks like? Next, what is their goals? And I mean goals, not make an impact nonsense. Practical, measurable. AI can write to that. Then we talk about a pain point, which you'll see in the template. But here's the big one. What triggers them to actually buy? People don't buy when things are going great. They buy when something breaks. So in my file, things like triggers include lost a deal because follow-up was too slow. So a competitor's content everywhere and realize they don't have anywhere near that quality or volume. They hit a revenue plateau and they can't figure out why, etc., etc., etc. So I'm telling AI everything that's inside the customer brain and I'm just feeding it that deep information. Another section that's important is language. How do they actually talk? In my file, I have phrases that they use, like, I just need to get this off my plate, or I don't have time to learn another tool, or I've been burnt before. That's important for AI to know. Words that they hate, like synergy and unlock potential and game-changing and revolution, if AI uses those words, my clients hate those words, instant turn off. Okay, so again, Link is in the description. Grab the template, look at file number 2, which is your avatar, your customer, and fill that in. I think as we're going through this, you're starting to see just how much information goes into these files and how valuable it is for yourself, for your business, but also for your AI system. So you're giving it all that training. And with that, we head over to file number 3, which is your tone and voice. This is how you sound. And if you don't define it, AI will default to that generic corporate LinkedIn speak, which makes everybody sound the same. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Excited to announce, thrilled to share, let me unpack this. All that bullshit, that's not your voice, that's AI slop. You don't want to be the person who produces slop. First, we have the one-line identity. Who is this voice? Mine says, direct, no-nonsense operator who values clarity over comfort, practicality over theory. Fuck yes, absolutely. That's exactly who I am. Next is personality traits. Pick 5. Rank them because the order matters. My file, direct, practical, skeptical, absolutely, confident, and dry, humorous. Pretty accurate on that too. Then the communication principles. These are non-negotiable rules for you and how you communicate. In my file, say what you mean. Don't hedge. Short sentences over long explanation. State the point first and then explain. Challenge bad ideas directly. No corporate speak. Swearing is fine when it fits. These are my default settings. That's how I am. If you meet me in real life, that's how what you see is what you get. AI must be me. It must follow the same rules every single time. Next, this is the important section. Words to use and words to avoid. In my file, I have a section called Sounds Like Me, which is 3 to 5 short samples of things that I've actually written or actually said. And I've got another section, Does Not Sound Like Me, with examples of what to avoid. AI picks up on patterns from examples faster than it does from rules. Give it both. Pro tip over here quickly, if you're thinking, dude, I don't know how to describe my voice. You don't have to. If you already have content, social media posts, you got articles, you got Zoom calls, upload them into your favorite ChatGPT or Claude, and then grab the template and let AI fill it in. You tell AI, hey, analyze this content that I've just uploaded, fill in the voice template on this form. Let AI do the work. It will pick up patterns you didn't even realize you had. Okay, so those were kind of the important things I wanted to highlight in this particular file. There are a whole bunch more, as you can see in the file. Grab it if you haven't already. And then we're going to move on to file number 4, which is your playbook. Think of file number 4, your playbook, as how do we do things around here? This is a simple reference file that tells AI about how your business actually operates. Without this, AI is going to make some wild assumptions, and those assumptions are usually pretty wrong. In the file, you're going to see, what do we do? One paragraph. You should already have this information from the earlier ones that we created. Plain language, no marketing speak. Next, how do we make money? Be unromantic about it. So, in my file, as an example, here is the core offer. Custom AI automation system. Product ranges from single automation to full business-wide builds. Price depends on scope. Payment collected in milestones. If you do this and you're specific about this, AI is going to stop making dumb suggestions like, hey, you should offer a 7-day free trial, when it doesn't make any sense for your business. Then we've got some operating rules. These are my defaults. In my file, I have capture over creation. Build once, run forever. Document before repeating. Fewer tools beats more tools. No custom work without clear scope. 5 rules max. These rules tell AI how you think, not just what you do. And then finally, we have boundaries. What's out of scope? What do you say no to? In my file, no building for people still figuring out what their offer is, because automation amplifies what's already working. It doesn't fix what's broken. These boundaries protect your business and they stop AI from making promises you just can't keep. And again, there is more in the full template. Okay, 2 more files to go. Hang in there. The 5th file is your positioning statement. Luckily, this is a nice short one, but it might be the most important. Your positioning statement is the anchor. It's the one sentence that tells AI exactly who you help, what problem you solve, and what outcomes you deliver. Every piece of content, every email, sales message should ladder up to this. And here is the format. We help specific customer solve specific problem by providing what you do so they can clear outcome. That is a single powerful statement, and every business should have this statement. Here is mine. I help established business owners solve the problem of inconsistent content and manual outreach by building AI automation systems that do the work for them, so they could generate more leads and revenue without adding to their workload. An optional bit here, and if you have it, like if you have a key differentiator, add that line as well. So I would add, unlike agencies or SaaS rentals, they own the system outright and pay AI providers directly with no additional markup. So that's my key differentiator. I build you a custom system that you own. You're not renting a SaaS service. So I want to tell AI that. And that was the complete file number 5, nice and short. And finally, let's get on to the 6th file, and that is your guardrails. This file will save you from AI doing something stupid. If you don't set boundaries, AI will confidently make things up, overpromise, and go places you've never wanted it to go. This file is your safety net. Let me show you what's in mine. AI can summarize, reformat, generate drafts, extract insights, suggest options. AI cannot invent policies, change pricing, promise outcomes, make commitments, create legal or financial advice. Do not guess the missing information. Do not fill in gaps with best practices. If you don't know, ask. I spell it out. I'm just talking to my intern, told him what they can do and what they can't do. You wouldn't let your intern enter into some legal contract without your approval, right? Same thing here. This single rules eliminates half the garbage output that people complain about. A couple of more sections, I'm not going to go through them, but they're in the template, which I'm assuming by now you've got from the description. Here is where it all comes together. So let's create a personal project. I'm going to call my AI helper. This is going to be my sparring partner that I'm going to go back and forth. I created the project, and on the right side it says here, files. So I'm using Claude. Obviously the same works with pretty much every other system. Let me drag those 6 files in there. And here is my work being rewarded, 6 files ready to go. But I want to double check to make sure that this isn't going to get confused with anything else I've chatted about before. So the first thing I do is I always test it. So I'm going to say to it, hey, look, based on the files, what do you know about my business? Give me a summary. It should only reference information from those 6 files, not everything about to do with my other YouTube channel as an example. And there we go. It is now giving me information pulled from those 6 files. This looks pretty cool. But just for funsies, I'm going to say, hey, did we ever chat about making pancakes? Obviously we didn't, so it should say no. And then if it does say no, then this is geared and ready to be my super AI helper. We go. I know that was a lot, but you got to do this once and your AI world will change. Keep these as living documents so that you can update them as your business changes and grows and adapts. And marry that up with the prompt framework I shared with you in the other video, and you'll be amazed how good AI becomes. I'll have a link to that video in case you missed it. So many of my clients tell me that these questions alone led to more clarity in their business. So it's not just for AI. Okay, we're gonna call it here. You've got a whole bunch of homework to do, but it's well worth your time doing that. And if this is the kind of business content you want, hit that subscribe button, give the video a quick thumbs up before you head out, and the training continues. I'll see you in the next one.